A visionary is a person that can walk down the corridor of time and see into the future. The year is 2024. The Libra Association and the Google Monetary Association, known as the GMA, have both established themselves as strong financial powers, making the Libra Association the world's superpower, with the GMA in second place, and good old America, the USA, in third place. Donald Trump is in his last year of office, yet the American public are lobbying for him to get re-elected for a third term, or possibly indefinitely, as they realize that he is the only person that can slow the world powers from totally dominating the human race. Venezuela is now owned by Google in what is known as the first digital war, or others call it a VMA, a virtually manipulated war, where a country was lost to a superpower without bloodshed or excessive violence. You see, citizens all over the world are refusing to pay taxes to traditional governments based on the reasoning that they are not using the government's money or the traditional fiat system. Just as the South African public refused to pay e-tolls. With a lack of funds, the power of the governments is weakening as people move over to the other superpowers, like the Libra Association and the GMA. The reason the GMA was able to win and now owns Venezuela is because they made a deal with the old government, which included a huge financial payment to each government official directly into their personal Google wallets. In addition to this, they would give the country funds to increase and improve the infrastructure. The traditional debt was not needed to be bailed out, as Venezuela was simply exiting or abandoning the traditional old fiat system. The GMA has now implemented the world's first geolocation tax in Venezuela. This tax was implemented without a referendum and without consultation of any kind to the people of Venezuela. Because the GMA or Google now own Venezuela, and they are the world's second largest superpower, they have the power and the ability to manage their assets, Venezuela, in whatever way they see fit. A geolocation tax is a tax that is paid by anyone in a certain area. So Google is taxing anyone a very small fee for using their cryptocurrency, or their digital currency as it is probably better known. It is rumored that Google, the GMA, is in talks with the Libra Association to get them to also cooperate and charge a geolocation tax in Venezuela. This tax will be used to uplift the Venezuelan infrastructure, build better schools, better healthcare for all the citizens. And of course, the GMA has promised the Libra Association a healthy share of the geolocation tax if they should implement it and assist them in Venezuela. While the Venezuelan economy is looking very strong, the rural and outlying areas are seeing little or no trade and no growth. Google have announced plans to eliminate the geolocation tax in rural Venezuela and in the outlying areas. In other words, they will not tax people who spend their digital currency outside of the city center of Venezuela. And they've even gone as far as saying that they will charge a negative tax. In other words, pay people to get them to trade, buy and sell in the outlying areas and in rural Venezuela. The libertarians are, of course, up in arms, claiming that the GMA is developing a system that allows them to manipulate and the movement of people at mass by financially punishing them or rewarding them based on their location, which gives these superpowers control over the entire human race. And finally, the Libra Association is set to conclude talks with Zimbabwe as early as next week. And based off the outcome of these talks, Zimbabwe could be owned by the Libra Association as soon as the first quarter of next year. If you have enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe. Remember, this story is just fantasy. Or is it? My correspondent will be going back into the future next week. And if you would like more, please let me know in the comments.